My name's Michael Kwan, and I'm a real estate investor in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I've been working with ALFAN Estates now for several months. Super excited to be working with Alan and his team. They've done a tremendous job. I purchased my first property in Las Vegas actually back in 2012, 2011, and have had a decent amount of success. And where Alan's team has come in is really bridged the gap of what I thought was possible with my existing properties, in addition to getting new properties. So when I first met Alan, he started telling me all these numbers, and I thought he was, kind of a little bit too high in what his expectations were of what he was telling me. And so I was like, I don't know, can those numbers really be real? And it turns out that they're actually quite real, and in some cases, underestimated. And so once we started working together, I got really excited because he gave me all the details that I need. For me, I want to know the metrics, I want to know the numbers, I want to know the cash flow, I want to know the return on investment. And when Alan started showing me all the things that were possible with short-term real estate investing in Las Vegas specifically, I was like, these numbers are going to crush my other properties, which we're already doing, quite well in my mind. And so I think for you that are existing owners, or if you're just getting started out in real estate investing, Alan's really giving you the potential to get returns that are at the top end of the spectrum. And so really take time to sit down with his team to understand what it is that he's doing. And you'll see that Alan's really full service. He's not only, giving you the data that you want, but really taking care of the clientele, making sure that the guest is having an outstanding experience. And that's so important to me because, other than making the cash flow and the profit, I want to make sure that I'm providing a good service. And so Alan is an extension of my team, and they're just crushing it. So the only problem that I have right now is trying to get more properties. And so I'm a little hesitant to even give you this testimonial because now I'm going to have fewer or less properties to get myself. But I wanted to do this for Alan because he's been doing just some ridiculous, phenomenal things for me. And so if you're looking to invest in real estate in Las Vegas, you got to talk to Alan and his team. Phenomenal. So when I first met Alan, I was already an existing real estate investor, and I already had some properties in Las Vegas actually, and I was already getting a decent return. And so when Alan started telling me that he could get far superior returns, I was a little bit skeptical. And turns out that, some time went along before I actually ended up working with Alan. But when I did, I was just amazed at the numbers he was starting to show me. And so I got pretty excited. Alan ended up helping me to get my first condo property that we're renting out, and it has just far exceeded my expectations. It has been returning me about 2 to 3 times my other rentals, which are, to give you some perspective, fully paid off. So I think that says a lot in and of itself. So one of the great things about ALFAN Estates is that Alan is very hands-on with his clients, and it's a level of service that is quite uncommon these days. I work with a number of other property managers in Las Vegas specifically, and while they get the job done, there's not that level of customer care that I know is in place with Alan. And so, for example, I'll give you a great example. Alan goes out of his way to keep communication completely open, as well as give me the full details that I'm looking for. So although I trust Alan, I still want to trust but verify. And so Alan is able to give me a lot of the data and the metrics that I want to make sure that I'm measuring my return on investment, and also to understand, what's happening, who's coming in, who's going out, what types of trends are we seeing, and, ultimately getting your cash flow statement at the end of the month. It's very consistent. Alan always pays on time and early in some cases. So I really appreciate what ALFAN Estates has done for me. I think one of the unexpected things about working with ALFAN Estates and Alan was really the attention to detail and the care along the entire process from start to finish. And we're talking about from the point of acquiring the property, being able to vet it, being able to work with the realtor, but also get the very specific details. And Alan's knowledge of the specific areas that we're targeting is second to none. So I know that his knowledge is pre-existing with current clients that are already in there, and it's so much easier for me to trust the data that I can actually see real tangible numbers. So I think that really stood out to me and gave me the confidence to move forward. And once I did, the only problem now is trying to get more. I think one of the really great things about working with ALFAN Estates is that it's really raised my standard of what's possible in real estate investing, specifically in Las Vegas. As an existing real estate investor with cash flowing properties, I had a certain expectation of what was possible. And maybe if I was more efficient, maybe we can squeeze out another 10-12% or something to that extent. But Alan really showed me that with the short-term rentals, we can exceed that by multiples. And so that's what I think really stood out, that was unexpected to me. I think if I could go back in time and start my journey with Alan a little bit earlier, that would have been ideal. I think I would have had a few more properties at this point at a lower price point. But no regrets. I'm super happy on the path and trajectory that I'm on. In hindsight, I think the place where I wasn't quite understanding the difference in possibility of investing in real estate was my own preconceived notions. And a lot of actually real estate investors, I think, have some preconceived notions, even if you're doing well currently. And so what I say to you, existing owners that are out there looking to increase and create better returns, I think, let you know that it's possible. And if you take the time to really kind of at least look at another perspective, you'll be surprised, and happily surprised at that. I think Alan really brings full service to the real estate investing equation. So if you're really looking for someone that's so hands-on that you don't really have to do much yourself, Alan and ALFAN Estates, they're the team that you want in place. I can't tell you how confident I am at this point that things are going to get taken care of. I'm going to get my return on investment, my property is being taken care of, the clientele is getting taken care of, which is just as important. And all of those things put together really make for an experience unlike anything that I've ever had before.